afternoon, good evening, everybody. Sandy here with Artistic Mystic, and today I'm playing with incense. And yours truly right here just recorded an hour-long video and didn't hit record. I know. It's that kind of morning. It's okay though. It was a test run because I was going to have a lot of editing to do and I'm over it. All right? So I'm just, you know, when you put so much work into these videos and then something like that happens, you get a little discouraged. So I'm going to start right now by talking about a store-bought incense since it's lit and it's going. And I usually don't buy store-boughts. I mean, there's only maybe 3 that I get, which is going to be the dragon's blood, cinnamon. Oh, no, not dragon's blood, sorry. Cinnamon, Nag Champa, and Palo Santo. And those are true to their scent to me. I was curious, so I bought some amber. And, you know, I don't know this brand. This is a new brand for me. When I opened it, it kind of had a perfume smell to it. Like, it didn't smell like amber to me at all. I'm used to the amber resin and how it smells, and it's super, super sweet and mellow, and I just love the resin. I will work with that resin all the time. But, so I decided to try these out. They're not bad, you know, there are definitely some incense out there where I'll light it and just like instant headache, like the ones I get from Walmart. Those ones, I don't know what it is they put in those, but my kids love them. They love the way they burn, the way they smell when they burn, but for me, it's like an instant headache. So I'm not quite sure what's in them that causes that. So anytime I've ever purchased them to test them out, that's where they end up. They end up with my kids. So yeah, well, redoing this video, it's probably a blessing, right? Because everything that I did took me like an hour and a half to do. And I can just quickly go over everything that I went through to make it shorter and easier on you guys. So you're not sitting here going, oh my God, Sandy, get to the point. I have a hard time doing that. So I went to class yesterday. I take these classes at my local metaphysical shop. And I like to take classes just because I can connect with like-minded people. And I can learn a few things that are maybe confusing to look up on the internet, and one of those things was talking about a deity. And I had homework to do, and it was 3 charms, and I had to put together a charm kit, and I got to put together a charm bottle, or I think they call them stone jars. And then I put together a loose leaf tea. I've never made tea before on my own. I've always just bought it already pre-made. That was an adventure. The tea was definitely for some reason, the most challenging for me. It was hard because I couldn't figure out like flavor. It's just like when you work with incense. You're like, I don't know what that's going to smell like burning versus what it smells like not burning. And so I have a book. I guess you could call it a book of shadows. I don't know, reference book, whatever you want to call it. A grimoire. Mine's not fancy, like some people's stuff is. And don't get me wrong, some of the grimoires and book of shadows that I've seen are beautiful. I just wish that and it's so funny to me because I'm an artist, but I'm an artist who cannot draw. I've tried drawing, I've tried painting. For some reason, it just doesn't, what is in my mind does not convey onto paper. I have a hard time with this. And I've tried to work on it and work on it and work on it and practice. It just doesn't, I end up with stick figures most of the time. So I've come to terms with that. And I have chosen, here's a little bit of what I use. Just a little notebook. So in this one, I do some doodling. So that is the shield symbol for Lugh, the god of many gifts. They call him the Shining One. He is a solar deity. So I chose to work with him a little bit. I have 3 different charms here that I worked on, and they are charms either to work daily routine with. I'm really bad at daily routine, and I find that if I am working magic only once or twice a week, I kind of feel yucky. And I want to say that Skittle Cat Spiritual touched on this in one of her videos of witching every day in some way, shape, or form. And I strongly agree with that, and I think that that is very, very important. And so I made 3 different charms, like I said, and the first one I will share with you is my stone jar. I created the stone jar for the energies, obviously, with the stones that I put in this jar, and I also added distilled water, and I added a couple of essential oils. The whole purpose of the stone jar is a visual reminder. And then also, if I need to have a little pick-me-up, I can open it and I can just kind of take in the scent of the oils that I added to it. So this one was for a daily routine for checking in with myself, my inner self, connecting with my inner self, because I plan on doing some more artwork and reopening my shop. I used to have an Etsy shop, and I would do a lot of art work with some clay. I used to work with polymer clay, and I would create little, I guess you could say they were art dolls in a way, but they are just made of all clay, so they weren't like a mixed media doll, and they weren't magical based kind of things. This was a time, it was a couple years ago, so it was the time before I really tapped in to my spirituality. And I definitely did not incorporate it into my art. So, so this is considered round 2. So I will eventually have a website, and I will eventually be offering all of the art that you see me doing on these videos. That was a little bit about what my charms are about, because I want to be able to stay balanced, create some content that everybody can relate to and utilize. So in my stone jar, this is a daily routine to check in with myself. I put in chrysocolla, citrine, blue lace agate, I always get this wrong. It's Prehnite, so prehnite, moonstone, and sunstone. So I added all those into a jar. I'll go over those properties in just a second. So I added it into the jar, and I put some distilled water in it, and then all these little dots that you're seeing, that is a combination of rose oil and frankincense and myrrh. So it kind of just settles. And I love it when oils are mixed into water because they look like little tiny bubbles. But yeah, so this is just more of a visual reminder for me to take a moment, check in with myself, maybe kind of take a smell, because I put frankincense and rose in it. So it's a calming. So working with those stones, chrysocolla is an inner balance and confidence stone. Citrine is confidence and happiness. Blue lace agate is compassion and clarity. The prehnite is prosperity and love. The moonstone is de-stressing and balance. And the sunstone is self-healing, happiness, and joy. So I did that because I wanted to make sure that I was just putting all of this beautiful energy into the things that I create, because I strongly believe when you're creating, and you're creating from a place that is stressful, a place that is sadness, a place that is anything negative, you are passing that along to the individual in one way, shape, or form. So be it a tutorial video, so be it just the finished product. And so I wanted to make sure that I was always in a nice mind frame to share the love. I did a charm kit. If you guys aren't familiar with charm kits, usually when you go to a metaphysical shop, you can just pick these kits up. I know that there are some shops online that sell these kits. They kind of, it's focused on putting together all of these elements that you could utilize for a ritual or utilize for a charm. So it's kind of taking the homework out of it, the guesswork out of putting together a charm, which is beautiful. It's beautiful for people who don't have the time to do that kind of stuff, which, in our busy lives and having children, I totally get it. I get it, and it's very helpful. There's nothing wrong with it. I do feel that when you put together your own charm and pick out your own stones, your candles, the herbs, and the oils, it amplifies it when you're using it. So with this charm kit, I'm trying to get some stuff out of the way, guys. Sorry. My whole desk is like herbs everywhere. Nothing wrong with it, just herbs everywhere. This one was a big one for me. This one, I chose to work with the Solar Deity Lugh, and it's spelled L-U-G-H. At least that's the spelling I go with. There's other spellings. It's like L-L-E-W or something. He is an Irish deity, mythological deity. Some people say that he is Celtic. Some people feel that he is a thunderstorm god and he is not a solar deity. I have stronger connections with the actual solar deity than I did with the thunderstorm. He came through to me as a sun god, so I went with that. So I strongly suggest you come across a deity, you need to go with your intuition. Okay, you can do all the research you want on Google. Everyone has an opinion, but if it doesn't feel right to you, don't go by that. It's not written in stone. You go with your intuition. So that's what I did. I chose to go with the sun god. So this is going to be for motivation, inspiration, clarity, manifestation, and creativity. That kind of touches on fire, air, and earth. So the whole reason I did this was to help myself with doubt and to help with taking action and manifesting my own business in magical crafting and art. All right, you guys, sorry. My work was calling me, so now, where was I? I think I was talking to you about my intention and going with my intuitive feeling when it came to working with the god Lugh. So with this, as a kit, like I said, you pick out your stones that you want to work with, you pick out an oil you want to dress your candle with, you pick out the herbs that you want to dress your candle with. So, of course, you have your candle holders, and you don't need, that's just part of the kit that sometimes you get is a little cheapy little candle holder, which they're not terrible to use. They're a candle holder, right? So that came with it. I did, sometimes you'll choose, sometimes they say just one stone is all you need. And I had done a charm before, and I only used one stone, and I wore it. I got one of those stone cages. I don't have it in front of me right now, guys. But it's just those metal little spiral-looking cages. And you, so what I did was I dressed my stone with the oil. I put the herbs on it, and I put it in my cage. And I wore it, and it's amazing. It's amazing what a daily charm can do for you. It's just amazing. Wonderful feeling. So with this one, the stones that I picked are carnelian, bloodstone, tiger's eye, and lapis lazuli. And sorry guys, I'm looking at my notes because I don't remember all this stuff. So carnelian is a fire element stone, and this one just called to me. And it was so amazing because it was in a jar. You know how like in metaphysical shops they hold their stones in bowls? Well, this one happened to be in a bowl that was clear. And there was a cabinet underneath that had, it was lit up. And this was the only one in that jar that was glowing. It was literally glowing. And so I wish I could put a light to it so you guys could see this beautiful, beautiful glow. So I was like, yeah, that's it. That's the sun, all right. I'm going to try something and see if I can get it to glow for you guys. Yeah, it's really glowing. Let me turn the thing down. Okay, one more. All right, is that better? I hope I'm not blinding anybody. But yeah, this is what it looks like in the sun. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, sorry guys, I keep blinding you. So that's kind of what it looked like in the bowl with all the other ones. And I was like, that is amazing. That is beautiful. That is coming home with me. So I plan on working with that one. And that one is it dispels the fear, gives you courage and passion. All those good things for the fire element, right? So I'm going to work with that. I got 2 of those, but I got that larger one. Oh, you guys, I have a hummingbird outside my window. How sweet. And then, so this is the other one. He's a little denser, so he doesn't kind of glow like this other one does. I've got a bloodstone. Bloodstone, this is going to be kind of harder to see. So I'll go real slow with it. Bloodstone's a beautiful stone. This is a stone that helps. It helps you with making decisions. It's a decision helper is what it is. And sometimes I do have a really hard time making that decision of, okay, is this quality enough? Is this what I want to sell? Is this something I want to share on my social media? Is this good enough? And I also have hard times with, okay, what are people interested in? What do they want to see? What do they, and then I tell myself and I talk myself out of it. I'm like, oh, nobody will be interested in that. So I really wanted something that was going to help me to go beyond that, to be true to myself, and to create what it is that I love to create, because I know that there's somebody out there who's going to love it too. That's a big thing to constantly remind yourself of. So with that one, that's the decision helper, and it aids in fire magic also. And I'm working with a lot of that. Tiger's eye. I chose a tiger's eye to work with. I have a lot of tiger's eye I have accumulated over the years, and believe it or not, this is the first one I've purchased. Anytime that I come across tiger's eye, it's either I found it or it was gifted to me. So it's attracted to me. And this is a stone for self-esteem and creativity. And last is lapis, lapis lazuli. This is a beautiful stone in itself. This is the artist stone. In my opinion, this is an artist stone. It helps with mental clarity. It helps with manifestation, will, courage, and creative expression. I work with lapis a lot. I also work with sodalite, but I didn't choose sodalite this time around because I feel lapis is a little stronger for me right now. But those are great. That's a great stone for creativity. And then for my candles, I have picked orange, green, and yellow. In most charm kits, it's usually one candle if you buy the kit. For me, I love working with more than one thing. I feel that it brings in more of the energies to me. So I chose orange for passion ideas. Yellow is for the energies of Lugh, for study, for communication. Then I chose green, obviously, for money and prosperity. So those are the candles that I chose. The herbs that I chose to work with and dress my candles with are chamomile, which is for money, rosemary, which is for protection and love, lavender, which is happiness and clarity, and then cinnamon bark, which is success and money. And again, I will put this in my mortar pestle. I will grind it down so I can dress all my candles with it. And then the oil that I'm going to dress my candles with so these stick to it is going to be dragon's blood, frankincense, and myrrh. And dragon's blood, when you utilize this, it increases your magic. Whatever you're using it in, it increases the magic. So, and I love the smell of it. I just love it. So I included that. And then frankincense, that's for courage, increasing the magic. Some people see dragon's blood as protection as well. Frankincense and myrrh is for the money aspect of it, the prosperity of it. So that's the kit that I put together. And so a little bit about the god Lugh, if you're interested. He is the deity of many gifts. So I'm still kind of learning about Lugh. I just had a really strong draw to him because he, a lot of people have utilized and done rituals for Lugh. It's kind of tied to Lammas. I think that's how you say that, Lammas. It's August 1st. So I'm new to Sabbats, so I'm still learning them as the year goes. I just started actually following the Sabbats in the beginning of the year, actually about Yule time last year. So I haven't got to August yet, obviously. So this is great that it's now, so I can learn a little bit. And I'm working on a ritual actually for Lammas. It's called Lugnasta, right? Lugnasa. Also. So correct me if I'm wrong. So I made a charm. This is kind of a longer charm. I won't read it all because it's a little personal, but in here it kind of talks about when you work with Lugh, you can call upon his energies to motivate, inspire through your project's passions and desires. He works well. I guess he helps with fear and doubt and overwhelm of certain things. He can bring in some action energy to you to move forward in your path, in which direction you want to go in. Sorry, I'm just reading a little bit. I'm trying to see here. Some people I read some people see Lugh as a warrior, like he was a warrior. There's a couple of stories about him on YouTube that you can. Sorry guys, I'm having problems with my computer today and I don't know why. And I just want to make sure I'm still recording. But yeah, so some people see him as a warrior type god, but then when it comes to the artisan side, he is a master of a lot of different things, playing the harp. A lot of writers work with him, obviously artists. So anybody who's has the crafty side of them, creativity. So he has a lot of different elements to him, and that's why I think I was so drawn to him. And it was crazy because I didn't seek him out. I didn't do research and type in deities to help with creativity. I didn't do any of that. I think I was looking up something about herbs for my tea. I made a loose tea, and he came across my screen, and I was like, well, what is this? And so it just he called to me, I do believe. That's the first time I've ever had that happen to me. Any other time I've had to seek them out, or I've found them by searching for them, if you know what I mean. So that was pretty interesting. I felt that was very awesome. I've never had that happen before. So that's that. That's for my charm kit. And you can do this. You can put those. It's basically the items that you put together to do ritual or anything to that effect. So these are pretty nifty. These are pretty cool to have. All right, so next is the tea that I made. My loose tea. I've never made a loose tea before. This is pretty awesome. So to all you guys out there who make tea, it's so beautiful. It's just to even look at. Look at that, guys. I don't know if you can see it, but do you see all those lovely things in there? I just love it. So yeah, I'm gonna brew a cup of this, and I will let you know how it tastes, because that's my biggest fear. This is the one that I had the hardest time putting together, and I don't know why. I hope in the future I can put some more together, obviously. Being that it's summertime, I tried to choose some herbs that were more of a lighter summer type of elements to it. Let's see what else. I'm trying to think. I make it cold. I live in Arizona, so to drink hot tea any time of the day is not appealing. Like, it doesn't sound good. It doesn't. I just don't need it. I don't need more heat in my life. I have plenty of that. And so I like to make iced tea. And I like my tea to be pretty. I will make cinnamon tea every day, and I drink cinnamon tea every day. And I just, for some reason, it's just that amber color to it. I'm just like, this is so good. Plus, it's cinnamon. I love cinnamon. So that's my tea, and I'll tell you what's in it. So I started my base. Okay, with tea, I learned. I don't know, this is just what I learned. If there's a different technique, just steer me in that direction, and I love to learn. So you have to have your base tea. So I chose the green tea and the yerba mate. I read that yerba mate and green tea work well together. To me, I was like, well, green tea, that's like really low in caffeine, and then yerba mate is like a zap of energy, so why not just use black tea? I guess it's a flavor thing. I don't know. We'll see. So I chose the green tea for passion, progress, magic, conscious mind. I chose the yerba mate, like I said, for the zap of energy. It has other qualities to it, but I don't have it in front of me to tell you. I think yerba mate is considered a blended tea. So I think it's a mixture of a bunch of different things. I'm not sure what, but it's just a mixture of certain things. I put chamomile in it. And I know chamomile, people are like, you drink chamomile to go to bed. I chose chamomile properties not for the sleepy time relaxation part of it, but its qualities helps move energy. So I want the energy to flow. So I kind of chose it for that, and it removes blockage. So if I have any kind of mental blocks, if I have something blocking me from putting in some awesome vibes into my work, I kind of want that there. So I chose some chamomile. And also I think it tastes good. A lot of people don't like chamomile, but I like the way it tastes. So I thought it would be yummy. I chose white willow bark. White willow bark is, the properties to it are moon and water magic. So for me, I try to follow, I'm learning astrology. So I learned my signs and I learned my elements, and I'm very, very low. I have one planet, I guess, in water. The rest of my planets are balanced. I have 3s across the board for fire, earth, and air. Sometimes I wish I didn't have so much air, but I'm okay. So I wanted to kind of boost the water aspect, so that brings love and harmony. So I threw that in there. I don't know what it tastes like, so we'll see. I don't know if there's a big difference of flavor or not. I put some lemongrass in there for strength and purification. I put some lemon peel for blockage removal and removal of negativity. I also put passion flower for balance and peace, and I put lavender for clarity and peace, and I put yarrow flower for success and banishing negativity. So I kind of tried to keep the theme all there, and then I also tried to put as many flowers in it as possible because I like my teas to be super sweet. So hopefully that works out, guys. I'll read you my words to this one because it's short. I chose to do like affirmation type kind of words because I'm going to put this on my refrigerator door, and when I make my tea in the morning, I'm going to be able to look at this And I'm going to tell myself this, and I will, throughout the day, be able to see it on my refrigerator. And if I need that little bit of joy and focus to my day, I'll be able to just repeat it. So here it goes. It's called Good Morning Sunshine. I feel creative, joyful, and vibrant. I feel abundance all around and within me. No one can take my joy. It is mine to share. Give as I will and to fully enjoy. So motivating. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. I'm tired. I'm tired, guys. I got woken up last night at 3 o'clock in the morning by my teenager. Yeah, I had to settle a crisis with her, so I didn't get to bed until 4. I laid down in bed and I tossed and turned. Then I had to get up and take my 9-year-old to school, so I have been up. When my sleep is broken up like that, the rest of my day, it just sets the tone for the rest of my day. I woke up in a terrible mood. Working with all my herbs and making a video for you guys, it kind of lifts my spirits a little bit. So it took me out of my funk, brought me back to what I enjoy. So thank you for that. So that's it, guys. Those are the 3 things that I wanted to share with you. I played around with some of my herbs. I burnt some herbs to see what they smelled like. I think I don't remember if I talked about this or not in the last video when I was sharing my apothecary cabinet. But I keep a book, and in the book I jot down the elements, if you can see that. So I categorize them by air elements, herbs, just as quick reference: the water element, the fire element herbs, and the earth ones. And then I go through like frankincense. So I'll jot down their magical properties, what their uses are. And then down at the bottom, I'll put as an incense aroma. So like for chamomile, I put here, it's an aroma of honey and butter. It's very mild. I should add that in there, but it's a very, very mild scent to it. So I think burning it, you would, unless you were burning just straight chamomile, I don't know if you're going to be able to get hints of it. I'm not, incense is a new thing to me. So whenever I work with stuff, that's why I write it down. Because sometimes I will forget, or I just can't place what it would smell like. So it's hard for me to kind of put it together in an incense. Yeah, so I just, that's just a little bit of what I do with my herbs. And so I was playing around on the video that wasn't recording. So unfortunately, I don't know if you missed anything, really. I was getting up a lot. I had to get my coffee grinder because I wanted to test it out. So I'm glad I actually did that before I started talking to you guys. So I was playing around with anise. I was burning anise whole. And then I took anise and I ground it up in my coffee grinder. Yes, I cheated because I didn't want to be here for a week trying to grind this up in my little mortar and pestle. So I ground that up, and the aroma was beautiful, beautiful. And then I went to burn it. I didn't smell any of it. I purchased some sassafras. This stuff, I'm sure I'm going to try it in some tea, but I can sit here and smell this all day. And so I was so excited. I'm like, I'm going to buy some sassafras, and I'm going to see if I can make an incense that smells like a root beer float. Unfortunately, when sassafras burns, it doesn't smell the same way. I run across that a lot. So the only herb that I've ever run across that smells like the actual is rosemary, to me. So, unfortunately, sassafras is probably a go-to herb when it comes to making tea. because I just love that root beer flavor. So that's that, guys. I was playing around with the white willow bark, amber. I put some tangerine essential oils in there. I ground up some orange peel. I put cinnamon, chamomile. My base was the calamus root, and I did put in some orris root. I just wanted to see how that would burn and what it would smell like. It wasn't bad. It was kind of a between an airy, wasn't musky, so woody. I guess you would say woody. So it was kind of had this airy, because I think of the amber, and then of course I had so many roots and the wood in there. It did have a quality of the woodsy smell. So I made a lot of it too. So I'm gonna have to play around. I think I'm gonna add more of the tangerine. Oh, and I put vanilla essential oil in there. So tangerine and vanilla essentials. So it kind of had a like a creamsicle. If you guys know those ice creams, the ice cream pops that the orange one. So it kind of had that kind of scent to it. So that's why I'm gonna add some more tangerine to it and see how that turns out. So that was my fun with the incense, guys. If you liked what I was going over and talking about, yeah, like, subscribe, share. Come on over to our Facebook group. It's the Artistic Mystic Rummage and Barter. And that is where we will, there's a handful of us already there. We're sharing our items that we don't utilize anymore that, just to try to find a good home for. I know that there's some tarot books. There's a lot of cards and oracle cards, tarot decks going up on the page if you're interested in looking some of those. And for me, I do a lot of rummage buying, and I try to find some unique things and items I think others would enjoy. So I save them from either being thrown away or sitting on a shelf somewhere in a Goodwill. So I do post a lot of that stuff. I do have some crafting supplies that I no longer utilize on there. And again, it is for selling. It is for bartering. It is for buying. If you want to help out some other witchies and buy some of their stuff, or if you want to trade and barter, that'd be awesome. I love to do that. So if there's anything that you can think of that you would like to come from Arizona, just go ahead, come on over, become part of our group, and let me know what you think. And again, just any ideas, you want to hear something special, just like sitting here ranting with you and babbling and going on and on and on. This is going to be a really long video. Bye, guys. I said that I was going to make my tea, and I was going to show you and let you know what it tastes like. And of course, my phone has to start making noises. It's okay. Here it is. And I put some mint in there. And a little marigold. A little bit of that fire element, right? But yeah, so it turned out really good. The aesthetics of it just is it's beautiful, beautiful. And the flavor, it's the hibiscus definitely took over. The passion flower, I definitely have the passion flower. There's something in it, and like I said, I am so new to making tea that I can't place what it is. It has somewhat of an aftertaste to it, and I can't put my finger on it. So it's green tea, yerba mate, chamomile, white willow bark, which the white willow bark, there's not that much in it. Like, I literally did a pinch because I just wanted its physical properties. The lemongrass, the lemon peel, the passion flower, lavender, and yarrow flower. So could it be the yarrow flower? I'm not familiar with yarrow at all. So if you can tell me, it definitely has a very strong aftertaste to it, and it's somewhat bitter. So I'm hoping that maybe I don't have to dump the whole bottle of honey in it to kind of mellow that out. So again, that was my tea. And I think for my first tea mix, my first blend, it turned out really good. I mean, it's something that I'll drink, so it's not something that's going to be wasted or, anything like that. So pretty. All right, guys. Bye.